What's going on, everybody? This is Jackson from Dinger Dudes and JD Baseball Show. And today I have a very special interview with Oklahoma baseball alum, LSU baseball alum, and most recently, 2025 MLB Draft League champion, Mr. Jason Bollman. Jason, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. And by the way, congratulations on your recent championship in the MLB Draft League.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
I was super excited to have you on. Now, as I mentioned before, your pitching coach this season was recently on our past episode, and I know he wanted us to get some MLB Draft League guys on. So I do want to ask you my first question about your collegiate career, kind of leading up to that moment. You're from Frankfort, Illinois, actually, correct?
Yeah, I lived there growing up until around seventh grade, middle, and then I moved to Peoria, Illinois, which is where I'm at right now.
That's awesome because I'm personally from the Joliet area, Joliet, Illinois.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, so I moved down here recently, and I wanted to ask you. So you started off at a lower name college before you kind of built up your baseball career to, as I said, Oklahoma and LSU. What is the biggest approach you personally would give to these younger guys coming out of high school looking to play at the potential D1 or D2 level?
I'd say really just to like never give up because kind of that's been my story with all the injuries. I mean, I was cut in high school, so I didn't have an easy route. And getting cut my junior year of high school really made me look at baseball and really think like, do I want this? And if this is what I want to do, you got to go all in. And I was an undersized kid in high school. I kind of was a late bloomer, and then that's when I filled it in my body and everything baseball wise really came to fruition. But I'd just say the hard work, man. Stay in the weight room. It's consistency too. I think that's the biggest thing that separates those guys. Like
Mhm.
when I was at LSU and I was around Dylan Cruz and guys like Paul Skenes, it's like those things you see what they do on day-to-day basis, and it's like it makes sense why they're the one and two pick. Like you look at the hard work, the dedication, and that's what it takes to be what they are. So, I mean, it's been an awesome journey so far, and I just tell guys, yeah, don't give up and keep going. One person telling you no shouldn't affect your career.
That's personally great to hear. I personally played baseball in high school, my freshman and sophomore year, and then I knew I wasn't good enough to make college ball. They put me in right field for a reason. I wasn't the starter guy every single game, but that's it's great to hear. And I feel like a lot of people, especially guys I played with, they always had the approach of wanting to make it to like Louisville or Oklahoma State when personally I knew a couple guys didn't have the stats or stuff behind that to like make it at the time until building up. So, but that's
Yeah.
personally great to hear. Now, I do want to ask you, kind of almost relating to that. I go to the University of West Georgia. I'm a senior here, and we recently transitioned to D1 baseball. So obviously, you made your transition from obviously lower to Divisional One. And what was it like getting the call or getting the opportunity to play on a bigger stage in front of a bigger crowd, personally
I
for you?
mean, it was, are you saying like when I got the call, that feeling, or you saying like actually being able to go do it?
Both.
Both. I mean, getting the call, I mean, it was a surreal moment because, like I said, being cut to having the head coach at LSU call
Hmm.
and then have some of these other big schools that were like so far dreams now right in my face that is an opportunity to do. I mean, it was insane. And then when I got there, I mean, I was hurt at LSU with Tommy John surgery and a shoulder injury, but when I saw that first game when I walked out on the first Friday night against Maine, it's like 12,000 fans sold out
Yeah.
in Baton Rouge. I mean, there was nothing like it. It's goosebumps. So, I mean, it was insane. And then pitching at Oklahoma, I got to pitch in the Big 12 championship game.
Hmm.
It was an experience I'll never forget. It was insane in the Rangers Stadium with all the fans and all that. So, uh, crazy experiences and just really worth it, worth the journey. Like the hard work I put in from the junior college route, that was some, I guess, on the last question I could tell kids in high school. Don't be scared to go the JUCO
Yeah.
route. I'm a JUCO
Hmm.
bandit. A lot of the guys that you see really make it are JUCO guys because you got to want it there. It's all on you on those lower level facilities. Like when you get to like the LSU's, the big schools, I mean,
Yeah.
it should feel like a cakewalk at that point. I mean, you get all the nutrition, you get the cool facilities, you get the gear, the shoes. I mean, it's a dream come true when you get those things. And it was I'm super blessed to be able to have those opportunities to go there.
It's great that you had like amazing experience, especially with the transition from JUCO Bandit. We have a lot of guys here who are JUCO Bandits. We have a lot of guys from the Southeast region who played in NAIA schools. And now that we're a bigger, well-known, we're in the ASUN conference actually,
Hmm.
for baseball, and we go against guys like Chris Sale used to go against one of our rival schools. Like it's
Yeah,
absolutely insane. And now you had the opportunity and to play like for LSU, Oklahoma, and you mentioned at LSU, you mentioned that you had previously battled injuries during your collegiate career, correct?
yeah, two surgeries. So it was a lot. So actually the draft league this season was really my first like healthy season back.
Mhm.
So like getting that opportunity with Nuns and Jay, and it was really Jay I DM'd on Instagram and we started talking. And I had a rough year coming off Tommy John. It's tough coming back throwing, and I got this opportunity to go there, and it was the biggest blessing ever because I finished strong and had a good end of my year. So I'm excited to see what comes next. But
That's super exciting to hear. Now I know that you had experiences in like independent league ball throughout your career, as well with the Chicago, like the American Association, Frontier League and stuff like that.
yeah,
What is personally next for you after a stellar performance? By the way, stellar performance in the MLB Draft League this
thank
season for
you.
you.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Right now, I'm kind of going into it. I've always tried to like micromanage my off seasons and try and
Hmm.
figure everything out and get it all set in stone and have all these plans. Right now, I'm kind of up in the air. I've talked to independent ball teams already. I mean, I could go there next year if I wanted to right now. So that's on the table right now, but I'm trying to go to an affiliate. That's my goal. I'm going to keep throwing this off season and do some bullpens, maybe a few scout days or something like that. Uh, but yeah, we'll see what's in the future. I'm just trying to see what pitching well after TJ, getting back to my healthy self can really bring me. So kind of going into this offseason blind, but I want to continue to play for sure. That's the goal.
So, kind of a follow-up question to that. You mentioned, you had battled Tommy John surgery. What was like your physical or mental approach, kind of both heading into the recovery process for you personally?
It was it was tough, really. I mean, it's a lot mental. I mean, that's why I think helps me right now, and that's what I think is a big separator for me right now as a player, is because like everyone's talented. I mean, everyone
Mhm.
throws hard. At least on the pitching side, everyone's throwing hard. Everyone's got nasty stuff. You got to have something that's going to separate you from everybody. And for me, I feel like it is that mental and just being alone and watching all your friends play at that level when you're hurt and you know you could be doing it
Yeah.
and then sitting in those weight rooms in those training rooms doing it for hours. I mean, it really was it's my entire life I've dedicated to this. And um yeah, it's just the injury with that, you just think about it and it could really make or break somebody's career. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of guys just give up. And then when I had my second one, people are like, wow, how is he still going? How are you going to continue to do this? And it's really just the perseverance. And once you get through things like that, you look at other things in life as like a piece of cake. So I'm really grateful for everything. Like the other thing with the injuries, like I was able to get my master's. I just finished my master's at Oklahoma 2 weeks ago. So it's like I ended up getting 2 degrees out of this with the injuries. I probably would have never used my grad year if I didn't get hurt. So it's like there's tons of blessings in disguise that came with this. And I just held faith in God and held faith with my trusting my plan and all this stuff. So I mean, I'm really fortunate, but I think the mindset with the separation and just really sticking to it. It's consistency is the biggest thing.
It's great to hear you had a consistent regimen, especially with going through Tommy John, because I've interviewed a lot of former MLB guys who have had Tommy John surgery, and they always talk about how hard the grind is for the mental, but not just mental, but physical approach. But it's great to hear like you personally stuck through it, and clearly it ended up very well. And by the way, congratulations on getting your master's at
Thank you.
Oklahoma. I plan to get my bachelor's in the spring. I'm hoping that works out in the spring. We'll
Yeah,
see what happens.
for
So,
sure.
yeah, I'm I'm excited for that. But it's great to hear that you had good experiences, especially with the recovery process
It's long.
in
It's a
Tommy John.
long process. I mean, it's you're holding tennis balls,
Mhm.
squeezing little plastic balls for the first few weeks. I mean, you're barely moving it in that little brace thing. So it's like
Hmm.
it's a lot. It was hours on hours out of my day, but I mean, it's worth it. I mean, it was fun because it's what I want to do. So
So actually, from a pitcher standpoint, you see a lot of guys in the MLB nowadays, like such Corbin Burns went down at the All-Star break, Tommy John surgery. Shane Bieber was out all last season, Tommy John surgery. And a lot of people talk about like the exit velos. A lot of pitchers nowadays are throwing 100 miles per hour fastballs and shortening their, I guess, careers or seasons personally. From a pitcher standpoint, what's your, I guess, mindset on that? Are you personally more of a high velocity guy, or do you like to like change it up with sinkers, like sliders and stuff like
So
that?
that's a funny question because before my Tommy John surgery, what kind of when I got like before I got to LSU and when I got my buzz, like I ran it up to a 97 in a summer league in a
Wow.
closing thing, and I was like 94, 95 that night. But I would sit like 92, 95, touch a six in my starts. And then uh post TJ, I have like sinker now, cutter,
Mm.
and I have like a six pitch repertoire. But I mean, I was hitting 94 in the seventh inning of starts this year in the draft league. So I mean, I was still holding velocity. Well, that's something that I do different now is I'm able to hold my velocity throughout the whole game. So I would say now I'm more of like the dicey kind of throw different
Yeah.
stuff at you. But I mean, 94, 95, I guess 95 is the new 90. But
Yeah.
I do think velocity uh, is a big key to today's game. But
Mhm.
I also think that it's going back to like what I am right now with 93, 95 and dicing up because like those guys are only going five inning starts now and their arms are blowing out after a few weeks because people are throwing 100 in January. So I mean, it's an interesting thing that's going on right now. So with velocity and all that.
We talk about a lot of we on our podcast, we talk about a lot of changes in like the baseball world. Obviously, the whole ABS strike system being implemented in minor league games and major league games. We saw a little bit of it at the All-Star break, actually. I wanted to ask again from a pitcher standpoint, potentially going into a professional league. By the way, I hope you get assigned to affiliate ball, specifically the Cardinals, because I'm a big Cardinals fan, and pitching has not been good since the early 2010s, and we need a guy like you. We
That'd
definitely
be
need a guy.
awesome.
So I mean, I hope so. So if Cardinals people are listening
hmm
out there, I want to ask your opinion on like changes in baseball, like the ABS strike system. What is your personal opinion on automated ball strike system?
So that you're talking about like the challenge and all
The
that?
yeah.
Yeah. So I actually out when I was in fresh out of Oklahoma, it was like really short after TJ still. I got activated like game 36 of that season. They sent me to the Pioneer League.
Mm,
That was like my first indie ball experience, and that was fresh off. And I was throwing hard, but I had no idea where the ball was going. I didn't have my feel back yet. But in that league, there was the ABS, so I got to see what it was like, and it was cool. But I thought in that league there was too many. So like if you got it right, you got your call back, like a challenge or like a challenge flag. So it's like they people had six a game, but I think if there were three, I think it's good. I think three throughout the game, you got to use them strategically. But if you have six of them, I mean, it just kind of can change the game big times, big moments. But and
yeah.
it takes the human element out of it. I
Mhm.
think having an ump is cool, and it keeps the game how it always been. But uh, I don't hate it. I don't hate it if they were to bring it to the MLB because those guys, their plate vision is unbelievable. So like you
Mhm.
see those guys like Juan Soto step out, he knows it's a ball. Like and they get rung up sometimes. So I wouldn't mind to see three in a game.
It's great to hear this perspective from a guy who's experienced it. I actually did not know that they incorporated that in summer ball leagues. We've only really discussed about it in like AAA minors and then a little bit in the MLB because we were talking with a former MLB pitcher, Trevor Cahill. He played for the Oakland Athletics in the 2010s, and I was asking him because he personally experienced it in the MLB, like I believe last season. And a lot of the older guys in the older side of the generation, like the late 80s, um, have a conflicting opinion on the ABS strike system just due to the fact of like the nostalgia and like they're ruining the game and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Like, but you see in crucial moments like a playoff game, like if a ref or not a ref, an umpire calls a strike when it was clearly a ball and that ends the game, ends the series, then yeah, I completely
yeah. And
understand.
I mean, I actually had one where it was a 3-2 count with two outs. Um, or it was 2-2, one of the two. The guy started stealing. The catcher hops up, um, catches the ball, throws it down the second. Guy from third scores. He called it a ball because the catcher popped up. I challenge it as a pitcher strike three, end of the inning. Changes your outing. I mean, you give
Hmm.
up. That's a run with a man on second and third. Then I mean, it's just it can help. That's why I think three a game would be cool because it's not
Hmm.
overdoing it three, but
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen some teams blow them in the first inning, and guys are looking at their guys like, "What are we doing?" But it'll be interesting if they do it in the MLB.
I would love to see it in the MLB. I mean, we see it in the NFL daily, like the challenge flags. You get three, and if you fail the challenge, you lose a challenge flag.
Yeah,
So, I
yeah,
mean, I feel like it should be fair across all sports, especially
hmm
MLB baseball.
yeah,
But I do want to ask you about two more questions before we get to wrap up this interview. Now, obviously, Jay Jackson was your pitching coach in West Virginia with the Black Bears, and he talked about like the coaching mindset that he had and loved to share out with all the games. What is some of the biggest advice that you received during the MLB draft league? It could be from him, it could be from just anything throughout this past season that you'd like to share to the viewers.
yeah. So I mean, I think being with Jay was awesome because he was such a good coach because he was in the bigs like last year. So it's like
Hmm.
he's with us, he's still young, he's able to like get his message across in a way that we understand it. And it's also in a way like we respect him. He played in the big leagues, like
Yeah.
even Nuns, our head coach, he played in the big leagues too. It's like every coach we had were very good like role models and stuff that we could look up to like follow their careers. So it's like Jay made it really easy for me because a lot of me coming back personally was like fine tuning for me. Like I've always had my stuff. It was just getting my feel back post Tommy John, and his was like easy on the mind, like positive self talk, like making stuff simple, like drive it through the target. Like you don't got to change your mechanics because you're ripping or pulling your change up sometimes. Like it's just like a mechanical cue with your focal point or something like that. And he was so good at that. Like he'd just be in the dugout, and I'm not big at like looking at the coaches when I'm pitching in the dugout, but like he'd just say stuff out loud, and it just remind me because he was saying the same things in the bullpen, and it put me right back on track. So I'd say like I thank him a lot for that. I don't know if he's going to listen to this or watch it, but like super blessed to have him as a coach. And like I learned a lot, and he made it very simple for me, which made it a lot easier. And I think a lot of the guys on the team could agree. Like we had such a great group of pitchers and a great group of arms, and he managed it very well. I mean, so yeah, we're super blessed, and I could probably speak for everyone. We're super thankful that he was our coach.
That's great to hear. Now, I first spoke with Jay last summer. We originally had him on an episode, and then he was with the Minnesota Twins actually at the time. So it's great to hear that you have a great coach mindset. Obviously, a still young ball player mindset, and there's a reason why he was in like the majors for so long and had a professional career for so long. Not just because of the whole velocity thing, but he was a great locker room and clubhouse guy, and he really
Hmm
knows how to share his message out with his pitchers and players. Now, I actually want to ask you a fun question or two aside from your career standpoint and from the baseball standpoint. So I want to ask you personally. I feel like every pitcher growing up and every young ball player, every fan has a Mount Rushmore of starting pitchers or just pitchers in general that they watched growing up. And in the MLB, do you personally have a top four Mount Rushmore of starting pitchers that you saw growing up during your younger days?
Yeah, so I guess this can be tough. I have a lot of guys I like to emulate and like play like and just growing up like like I used to say back when I was in the Zoom meetings, back when I was a prospect in the draft, like when you're talking to guys and they'd be like, who do you pitch like? And I'd say like Stroman's mindset, like
Hmm.
mechanically Verlander, like stuff like that. You mix it all up, you get me. But I'd say, all right, so I'll start with like Tim Lincecum. I got to throw on there. That's my guy. I mean, I was always doing his mechanics. That was crazy. So that's one. I'm a I'm gonna have to go, like I said, Justin Verlander on there. Two, three, maybe a sleeper pick here, but like for me, I just like the way he pitched, and I think he would have been one of the greatest. Like Jose Fernandez
Yeah,
was gonna be a stud, absolute stud with the stuff he had. And then, huh, this last one would be tough. I'm gonna say, hmm, this is
it's
tough.
very tough.
Um, I'm just gonna throw like a Felix Hernandez in there.
Hmm.
I don't know, or a Mariano Rivera, because I'm a Yankees guy. I got to have a Yankee in there. Mariano Rivera, I'll throw in there, and I got the cutter. So,
So you're personally a Yankees fan.
oh yeah,
Okay, it's great to hear that because I know I saw that you were from Frankfurt, so I was like, he could either be a White Sox or a Cubs guy, and I don't know how this interview is gonna
so
go comparing them to a Cardinals guy.
In Chicago, I'll go for the White Sox, but uh, if I had to choose in Chicago, but yeah, I'm a Yankees fan all the way, and I was able to go to Yankee Stadium this year when we got to visit Trenton, so it was pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I think those are a great rotation of four guys. I think Tim Lincecum, if he had a longer career, 100% Hall of Famer. I mean, you see a guy like Jonah Tong on the New York Mets. I saw it like he's pitching like this. He's holding
Yeah,
down and then he's going. It's
yep,
the
they have a lot of similarities.
Yeah. The mechanics are absolutely insane. Felix Hernandez, obviously, Seattle Mariners legend. I believe he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Hmm.
But we'll see how that comes about. And then Verlander and who's the final
Jose,
guy?
Jose, that
Jose
one was
Fernandez.
just like a sleeper. I mean,
Yeah.
I would always see his highlights. I liked his mechanics, the way he kicks his leg, and I mean, he was like 97, 98 with the 88 slider.
Hmm.
Gross. So, and now you could even put a little Yordano Ventura in there because I was like I said, I was a late bloomer. Seeing a little dude throw gas like that was so cool.
Yeah, yeah, I love Yordano Ventura, and I got to speak with one of Jose Fernandez's former teammates in Miami, and he said that personally, that was one of the guys, Justin Nicolino, that was one of the guys that he saw dominating the league for years. Unfortunately, that
Yeah,
situation had happened in
yeah.
2016, but I believe he was supposed to be what Paul Skenes is today.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. And I mean, yeah, I mean, you got to give respect to Paul. I mean, he's probably already on that Mount Rushmore with what he's doing. So, but I didn't grow up watching him, played next to him a little bit. So,
That's awesome to hear. Do you have any like stories from Paul Skeens that you'd like to share that a lot of people maybe
yeah,
would like to
actually, I
hear?
do. I feel like I actually have a pretty good one. So, like when I first got back, I was sitting in my cast coming back my second year at LSU, and I'm in the dugout, and I'm sitting next to like Jay and a few of the coaches, and we're sitting there, and I see Paul for the first time. I don't know who he is. I just know we have a transfer from Air Force, and he has a bat in his hand at this time with a helmet. And I'm like, okay, we got a big dude, like catcher, whatever, right fielder. Comes in the box. He's facing Chase Shores. I don't know if you know the name. He's on the
I do.
Angels. He was like
I
a
do.
second or third rounder, I think, or a comp pick. Like very good arm, 98 to 100. So he's a freshman at the time, bringing like 95, 99, and Paul comes up there, boom, into the seats. First like AB. I'm like, wow, looking around. And Jay was like, yeah, wait till you see this. He comes into the dugout. Next thing you know, he's taking off his helmet, putting on his bandana wherever he had, and they put his hat on. He starts walking to the mound. I'm like, what? And then next thing I know, I'm looking up at the scoreboard, 99, 100, 90 mile an hour changeup, 90 mile an hour slider. I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in person, like pitching wise. And it was, I mean, you saw what he did. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Mhm.
But that was probably my craziest story is seeing him personally. Like, I didn't know who the guy was, and he comes out, hits a homer off like 96 freshman, gets on the mound and dices up three dudes and just walks in. It's like, wow.
I never knew that Paul Skenes was a dual threat guy.
He led our
Shohei
team.
Ohtani, get him out of here. Paul Skenes. I would love
I
to see
want to
him.
say I don't. If any LSU guys are watching, I don't know if this is true. I'm pretty sure it is, but him and Dylan were neck and neck in the fall, and I think Paul won it with home runs in the fall that year before they turned Paul into a just a pitcher only. I think he hit like nine that fall or something. It was crazy.
That's absolutely insane. Now,
But yeah,
Jason Bowman, I want to ask you one more final question before we wrap up this interview. For guys, again, looking to get into Division One, NAIA out of high school, or just potentially go pro, what is the biggest advice you would like to share to them?
I'd say one, you gotta want it. Like you gotta want it and you gotta go after it. Like I emailed originally before when I was in junior college and like I went to an unsigned senior showcase to get signed. So it's like you you got to take your chances and you got to I'd say send out emails. I feel like this isn't a thing people usually tell people, but like you got to go and want it and send out to the schools you want. I think I sent out hundreds of emails to schools. Toledo was my only offer before I COVID, and I decommitted and went to Wabash and took that chance, and it was the best leap I've ever done to be able to get the LSU offer. But I would say, yeah, stick to it, stay consistent. Consistency, show up every day. The days you don't want to do it are probably some of the most important days that you'll look
Mhm.
back on. You got to show up and want it. Um, yeah, and just know that anything's possible. Go and reach for the stars, shoot for your dreams, and just go do it. Because like you only get to live once. We're all baseball ends for everybody someday,
Mhm.
so it's like we're all going to be working jobs, doing something at some point in your life. You might as well go for it now. You're not missing the party is not worth it. The the staying out late, all that stuff. I mean, you can do that your whole life. So it's like just stick to it, stay consistent, and know that you can do it. That's all I'd say.
It's great to again, it's great to hear that advice, and especially with consistency is key. And I feel like a lot of baseball players, not just high school, but collegiate baseball players, kind of lose sight of that nowadays. And it's great to hear that personal advice from a successful guy yourself. But Jason Bowman, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join this interview. This will be up in about like an hour, so I'll make sure to add you as a collaborator and stuff like that. And stay tuned because on Monday I am having your West Virginia Black Bears teammate Jace Reinhardt actually
But
on
yeah,
the podcast. So,
yeah.
but I appreciate you taking time out of your day to do this interview, and I hope you have an amazing day.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.